Good evening, hope you're keeping well and you're very welcome along to another busy sports show here on WLR. It's myself, Gavin Whelan, with you between now and 7 this evening. Very shortly, reflections on the opening weekend of the Waterford Senior Hurling Championship. Plenty of drama and talking points. We'll reflect on all the action. Well, Tyrone have Kerry's number again. The Red Hand County qualified for the All-Ireland football final. They'll take on Mayo in a fortnight's time. We'll reflect on their extra time thrilling victory over the Kingdom in Croker on Saturday. Tony McCall from Tramore Rugby Club will join us to talk about an exciting new venture for youths rugby here in the Daisha. Reflections on the Premier League action from across Channel over the weekend. And also, we'll look at the other top sporting stories that dominated another busy weekend.
And Sagar cleared our lines. Only out as far as Craig Gyrey though. It wasn't a great clearance. 4 Mile bear down a goal. Gary takes a shot. Goal for 4 Mile Water. It's Craig Gyrey. 4 Mile have the lead. It's now Conor Gleeson to make it a 2-point game. Off his right hand side. Michael Ryan is looking up at it. It's over the bar from Conor Gleeson.
Yeah, very good evening to you once again. Monday the 30th of August. Hard to believe, isn't it? And you're very welcome along to the programme. Thanks indeed to Ollie Carroll for the last 3 hours as well. Settling in nicely. A great start to his new role in the new Drive Time show. And well done to Aveen and Vinny for a cracking start, throwing in the big breakfast blah ball earlier this morning on a whole new lineup here, and new jingles and new regimes, new social media platforms as well. Mary O'Neill taking over our online content as well. So an exciting time here in WLR. We hope you do enjoy it. Thanks, Ollie, for the last 3 hours. But we're going to start this On The Ball programme by reflecting on the opening round of the County Senior Hurling Championship. A real exciting weekend of action. That was the closing stages there of 4 Mile Water and Ballysaggart yesterday. A real rip-roaring contest. Probably the game of the weekend as well. The pendulum swinging in 4 Mile Water's favour late in the game as Ballysaggart were denied a maiden Senior Hurling Championship victory. An injury time goal there from super sub Craig Gyrey, and 11 points from man of the match Aaron Ryan saw 4 Mile deny Ballysaggart their first ever senior win at Farfield in the blistering heat yesterday afternoon. 119 to 117 in a cracking championship battle. Ballysaggart led 116 to 16 points after 59 minutes, but there was 11 minutes of injury time. Chris O'Gorman goaling for Saggart there in 42 minutes. All-star attacker Stephen Bennett struck at 12 points, but Saggart finished the hour with 15 wides as they couldn't hang on for a famous victory. 4 Mile Water start their campaign with a hard-fought win, and after the game our own Tomas McCarthy got the reaction of 4 Mile manager, that's former Daisha and former Westmeath boss Michael Ryan, who's back on the sideline with the men from Ballymac this season.
Well, an absolutely ferocious battle, and to be honest we were expecting nothing else, only a ferocious battle. And I suppose when everybody thinks of Ballysaggart, they think of the three Bennetts, the three outstanding hurlers, which they undoubtedly are, but there's a lot of good hurlers in that Ballysaggart team. They played really, really well. They were 4 or 5 points up, coming down the stretch there, and we had to dig deep, and we found a few scores, got a few great points from out the field, brought us back into the game, and then Craig came on and got a wonder goal. But look, we're just so relieved to win that game because they put us to the absolute pin of our collar.
Were you worried it was slipping away heading into injury time, Michael? They were 3 points up, 59 minutes played.
Well, we didn't know there was a good bit of injury time left because the linesman made us aware of that. But there's no question about it, we were worried, absolutely worried. We had every reason to be worried because we weren't playing well. A lot of our players weren't playing well, but they kept at it. And even some of our unsung heroes came up trumps. And of course Jordan was deadly from frees and got a couple of great points in play as well. And people like Sean Welch popped up a couple of good scores. But look, it was just such a relief to win it. And I mean, we couldn't complain if it was a draw, but to win the first game in the championship is vital for every club in every group.
Did Aaron Ryan really come of age today, Michael? Because he really held his nerve when it was needed most with that late free.
Yeah, well, he's more than a free taker, to be honest. And there was evidence last year against Ballygunner, he was probably our best forward, and he did. But out in the sideline, and knowing that if you got the free, you're probably going to win the match. And and the pressure was on him, but he absolutely drilled the post. So there's no question about it. But Aaron Ryan spent hours and hours and hours blowing the pitch taking frees. So that's no surprise to us that he put that over there.
How valuable is a fella like Thomas O'Gorman at the other end of the field? I mean, he made two miraculous blocks, one in particular off the goal line.
Well, Thomas seems to have been doing that now for about 40 years, even though he's only in his mid-30s, but he did actually put his body on the line, and that's what it takes. It comes down to something like that. When they're through in goal, you've got to find something to stop it, and if that means throwing your body on the line, that's what it takes, and Thomas has been good at that for years.
Are you still enjoying it, Michael? You've been on the sideline now since 1975.
I love the current thrust of a real tight game and a real tight battle, and I enjoyed every minute of that today. And I suppose some people say it isn't good for the heart, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the contest, an epic battle it was. And look, so now we've got to recover during the week. Tom Barron picked up a knock there, hopefully he'll be okay. We've got to recover properly, and we have a terrible record against Lismore over the years, so we've got to try and sort that out next weekend.
We are WLR.
We are Ireland's local station of the year.
Yeah, that's Tomás McCarthy in conversation with a pretty relieved 4 Mile boss Michael Ryan after yesterday's action in Frahar Fields. Going to go back to Saturday's action, and the championship got underway on Saturday afternoon in the scorching heat of Frahar Fields, and Ballygunner began their bid for 8 county titles in a row with an emphatic victory over newly promoted Ballyduff Upper. 131-110 was the full-time score. Desi Hutchinson hitting 1-6 for Dara O'Sullivan's side as they started where they left off last season, and they look to be the team to beat once again in 2021. The aforementioned Hutchinson spoke to Tomás at the full-time whistle.
First game of the championship, everyone back together. First championship match in, I suppose, over a year. So, great to get the win.
Can you talk us through your goal? It came very early for you.
Yeah, it's always great to get off the mark early, but look, we were well oiled out there. We knew exactly what we were doing, so that's the start we wanted.
Yeah, your distribution was looking razor sharp. Daisy, that must be very encouraging for you now looking ahead to the rest of the championship.
Yeah, it is, and I suppose, look, there was stages where we were off with it too, and there's plenty of improvements to make, but look, overall we're happy that, look, some of the young lads got a chance today as well, and they showed up well, so there's plenty of competition here for places, and look, that's the way we want it.
It looks as if Harry Ruddle really put up his hand now for the rest of the season, does he?
Yeah, exactly. Look, Harry, Jake, Cormac and Barry Power came in. So Ronan Power, came in today, and they all put their hand up, and that's what we want every year, is people coming in pushing it all the time.
Can I get your reaction, Dizzy, to Liam Cahill signing up for 2022 with Waterford?
Yeah, look, it's absolutely great. I suppose it was nervous times for all of us as players, and I suppose the Waterford public in general, but look, we're delighted to have Liam back, and look, everybody knows what he brings, and I'm sure he'll be looking closely at the club championships, trying to freshen things up as well going into next year.
Yeah, Desi Hutchinson there in conversation with Tomás. Impressive stuff from him and from Ballygunner on Saturday afternoon. They face Abbeyside next weekend. That'll be an intriguing battle. We're going to go to Group C next, and a very impressive start for Dungarvan, who defeated De La Salle by 220-116 in Fairfield on Saturday night. Patrick Kern scored 112 for the Old Borough as they made an impressive start. Michael Kiley with the other goal there for Dungarvan. A neat finish from him. Their work rate and energy was really superb all over the field. Dara Lyons as well, rock solid in defence as well. The Kern brothers up front, particularly Patrick, looking really sharp as well, and that's a really impressive start to their championship campaign. Not a good start for De La Salle. They have it all to do now when they face Mount Sion next Saturday evening at 5:30. We will bring you the round 2 fixtures very, very shortly indeed, but let's get some post-match reaction to that now. Dungarvan manager Peter Smith, the Middleton native, he spoke to Tomás McCarthy after Saturday's action in Fairfield. First of all, talking about this being the ideal way to start the championship campaign.
It was, and the most pleasing part was that we used a panel. I think from what they're telling me, there hasn't been a panel here in the last few years, but we used 19 guys. Gavin Crotty wasn't involved today because he's injured, so that's the most pleasing part, and the work rate. We know there's quality there with 10 years, but we just have to translate it into wins.
Yeah, the work rate was outstanding, Peter. Was the moment of the match when Michael Kiley lost his hurley and he still blocked down the fella with his hands?
Yeah. That totally epitomises everything that we've been trying to do. That was unbelievable, and Mikey is an unbelievable player. He's turned from a back into a forward. His football has been outstanding with Waterford, so Mikey is one of our main players.
And did Dara Lyons and Patrick Kern give the leadership as well as county players at vital stages there as well, Peter?
Absolutely, and Kieran as well. And what emphasises our group is we had to leave people out today that didn't make the team, and we went to the lads what they had gone through with the county, been left out at different times, and they just bought in. To buy in that Liam Cahill has is what we're looking for, to buy in of the whole panel.
How much confidence now will this give you ahead of your last group game now against Mount Sion?
I hope it gives them great confidence, because they're a fantastic bunch. You can have fantastic bunches, but they have to deliver on the day of the match. I presume Dungarvan have been prepared before and what have you, but you have to deliver the performance on the day. And fairness to the boys, they did it with something to spare, but just putting the bodies in the middle third, having the cleverness then to get the ball to the scorers, that's how we're working.
back to yesterday's action we go in the All-Eastern affair at Welsh Park. A great start to Group D for Passage, who got the better of Roanmore. Waterford under-20 hurler Mark Fitzgerald shot 2-3 there on his debut playing adult hurling, as Passage came out on top by 316 to 18 points against Peter Queeley's Roanmore. So a good start there for the Reds. Roanmore will have to lift themselves for next weekend when they do battle with Clonea. That's also in Welsh Park. But we're going to go back to last night's action in Fraherfield, where there was a tour de force from Maurice Shanahan. He scored a staggering 4-13 as Lismore earned the bragging rights against Tallow in a lively local derby at Fraherfield last night. Lismore 5-19, Tallow 1-19 the final score. Shanahan got 111 from frees, 1-2 from play, a goal from a penalty and a goal from a 65 as the Black and Amber made a winning start to this year's campaign. They are under the stewardship, of course, of Fintan O'Connor this season. And after last night's action in Fraherfield, I got a chance to catch up with Maurice Shanahan and first of all put it to him about it being a very pleasing evening for himself and indeed Lismore.
Yeah, Gav, look, we treat tonight like a county final to us, because it's a local derby, number one, Gav, and you know yourself, if you lose the first game, you're kind of in a relegation kind of battle. And in a group of four, we might still be, Gav, because the teams, you see Ballysagar 4 Mile today was very close, so we have one win on the board. We treat it like a county final. It's a local derby. Thank God we won. We came out the good side of it, Gav.
Yeah, it's a fair point, and a lot of people talk about the close nature. Lismore, Tallow, 4 Mile, Ballysaggart, very little to choose between these teams, Mars. So a winning start, it kind of sets you up for round two then, doesn't it, I suppose?
No, it definitely does, Gav, because we had a lot of injuries this year. We have tight numbers in Lismore and we have a lot of injuries in Lismore, and tonight we're missing David Pinder, Shane Heafy through injuries, and Paddy Pinder's a savage loss for us. He's crucial, gone for the year, and we'd like to wish him a speedy recovery. All the lads in the team would as well, because he had the operation yesterday, Gav, and he's a massive part of our club, and we need to drive on now for him and see where we can go,
Yeah, I think we'd all echo those sentiments and wish him well, and not a bad night for yourself. 4-13, I think a personal tally. I think it was 4-11 came from place balls and that, but you seem to be enjoying yourself out there, Mars.
Yeah, Gav, look, what's not to enjoy summer hurling, so it's great to be out there with the lads. We drive on. Like I said, it was a derby. There's a few bragging rights up for stake, because last time we played Tallow bet us, so I just love hurling, Gav, and we keep going as long as we can, I suppose.
Yeah, have you been practising those penalties up in the field there, Mars? You stuck 1 or 2 nice ones there.
To be honest, Gav, I don't have a great record on them, and all the boys are saying I shouldn't be hitting them, but when it comes to it, I put the name forward to go for us. And the lucky one went in, Sully stopped one, but Gav, I don't care once Lismore win, and like I said, we're halfway safe at the moment, and that's the main thing for us, to be safe, and then we can worry about the other part of the championship then, hopefully.
Yeah, and I suppose once you were banging in those goals as well, in fairness to Tallow, they kept going and they threw the kitchen sink at you as you always expect, but those goals, I suppose, kind of always kept you in control. It probably didn't feel like that out in the field, Mars.
Yeah, definitely, Gav. I think we played a lot there with 15 men as well, which didn't help, but that happens in derbies. It could have been one of them lads got sent off, but it was one of our lads, unfortunately. But look, we got the goals. Like people say, goals win matches, and they did tonight. But to be fair to Tallow, Gavin, they kept fighting, and they can be proud of that too. But look, we shook hands after the game. We drive on. That's the way it is, Gav.
Yeah, and under Fintan O'Connor as well there, everything seemed well organised and well tuned in there as well. Mars, you're enjoying working under Fintan O'Connor.
Yeah, Gav, he's after bringing something new to it. Again, the lads last year were absolutely brilliant, so we have to thank them as well, because it's all the work that everyone does in this club, Gav. It's not just about this year, it's about the other years, and the lads that were with us 4 years improved us as well, and Fintan's after bringing something new to it again now, and like that, Gav, 4 Mile will know him very inside out next week, so we have to be up for that one.
Yeah, that's the final point. It'll be spicy next Sunday, 4 Mile Water and yourselves here in Fairfield, because you become, I suppose, accustomed with each other the last couple of years. You're nearly always drawn with each other. They had a hard-earned win today, you the win. It sets it up for a cracker next Sunday, Mars.
Yeah, it definitely does, Gav. There'll be nothing in that game again, because I'm not going to name the 4 Mile lads. Every one of them can hurl, Gav, like us. They have their main people, like we have our main people too, Gav. But it's going to be feisty, because we bet them last year. Michael Ryan's a great hurling man too, and he's gone in there this year, so he'll want to get one over on us. But like that, Gav, it's only a hurling match at the end of the day. 2 teams will go and do their best, and whoever wins, I suppose.
We are WLR.
We are Ireland's local station of the year.
Yeah, thanks indeed to Maurice Shanahan for that post-match chat in Fairfield last night. A very pleasing start to the championship for Lismore. Both sides finished with 14 men last night. John Prendergast and Ian Beecher sent off for their respective sides there by Alan Kissan. The round 2 fixtures very, very quickly indeed in the County Senior Hurling Championship before we go to our first ad break. On Saturday, it's Mount Sion against De La Salle, an all-Eastern affair, Welsh Park, 5:30pm. It's an all-Western derby then in Fairfield Saturday evening at 7:30 as Ballysager and Tallow do battle. 3 more games on Sunday. It's Ballygunner, I should say, against Abbeyside, Welsh Park, 1:30. Back at the same venue then, it's a 3:45 throw-in for the all-Eastern affair between Clonea and Roanmore, and the round 2 action will conclude at 6 o'clock at Fairfield Sunday evening. That Western derby between Lismore and 4 Mile Water.